Hello, and welcome to the Financial Aid Informational Series presented by Upward Bound Shelton and the Capital STEM Alliance. My name is Riva Villa, and I am the director of Upward Bound Shelton. For this first video, we're going to talk about why you should go to college and how you can pay for it. But before we begin this video in earnest, I'd like to tell you a bit about the Upward Bound program. TRIO Upward Bound is a federal college access program established in 1964 under President Lyndon Johnson's administration as a response to the Civil Rights Movement. The Evergreen State College was awarded the institution's first Upward Bound grant in 1977, serving students in Tacoma. Evergreen now has 5 Upward Bound grants serving Tacoma, Lakewood, and Shelton, as well as 2 college-level TRIO grants. Upward Bound provides a variety of services to students in the districts our programs serve, including college application and enrollment tracking, assertive advising, tutoring and mentoring, support with college admissions and scholarship essays, advocacy, exposure to diverse cultures and college campuses, opportunities to gain student leadership experience, and, of course, assistance with financial aid applications. Today, I plan to talk about the importance of going to college and how to fund your college education. I also plan to give you a few tips for saving money on indirect costs once you're in college. Just a heads up, much of this video will contain vocabulary that may be unfamiliar, so here's a review of some relevant terms you may hear throughout the videos. Fafsa is the free application for federal student aid. It helps low-income students afford a college education by determining a family's EFC and supplementing it with grant and loan offers. The Fafsa must be completed annually for students to receive continued funding for each year of college. EFC stands for Estimated Family Contribution, which is the amount the federal government believes a family should contribute to their child's education, based on their federal income tax information. Students find this on their SAR. A student's SAR is their student aid report. These are the FAFSA results that inform a student of their family's EFC. This is also what financial aid offices use to determine students' financial aid awards. Grants are free money, like scholarships given to a student to pay for college tuition or other college-related expenses. Subsidized loans are student loans offered by the U.S. government, wherein the government pays interest on the loan while the student is in college and for 6 months after graduation, when payments are required to begin. Forbearance and deferment options are benefits available with these loans, as well as income-based repayment. Unsubsidized loans are the same as subsidized loans, except the federal government does not pay interest on these loans while the student is in college. This means that interest will accumulate throughout the life of the loan, adding more to what will be repaid in total. We will discuss student loans more in a future video. The WASFA is the Washington Application for State Financial Aid. This application functions similarly to the FAFSA, except that it is designed by the state of Washington to help low-income students at various stages of obtaining U.S. citizenship or permanent residency who live in Washington state to afford a college education. However, this application only provides grants to attend college. It does not offer loans to students. This must also be completed annually for continued funding. A Washington resident is a U.S. citizen or permanent resident who has lived in Washington state for at least 1 year or has graduated from a Washington state high school. It also includes non-citizens who meet the eligibility requirements outlined by House Bill 1079. To qualify for House Bill 1079 or HB 1079 benefits, students must have lived in Washington state for 3 years and graduated from a Washington state high school or received a high school equivalency like a GED. CADR are the college academic distribution requirements for Washington state. These are the credits all 4-year state institutions require a high school student to have earned in order to gain admission to their schools. MPN is a master promissory note. This is a legal document in which you promise to repay your loan or loans and any accrued interest and fees to the U.S. Department of Education. It also explains the terms and conditions of your loan or loans. In other words, it is a student's loan contract. FERPA is the Family Educational Rights and Privacy Act, which is a federal law that protects the privacy of student education records. The law applies to all schools that receive funds under an applicable program of the U.S. Department of Education. BAs and AAs are bachelor's degrees, specifically Bachelor of Arts degrees, and associate's degrees or Associate of Arts degrees. So, why should you go to college? Why should you spend all that money just to go to school for another 2 to 12 years? First, let's consider salaries and unemployment rates for different educational levels. According to this chart, all people in the US in 2020 earned a median amount of approximately $1,029 per week. In terms of monthly earnings across all degree levels in the US, this would be about $4,116. Now let's consider median earnings by degree level. Note that individuals with below a bachelor's or four-year degree earned below the median amount for all degree levels, which was below $4,116 per month, and that individuals with a bachelor's degree or higher earned more than the median monthly income for all, making $5,220 per month the lowest median monthly income for individuals with a bachelor's degree or higher. To put this into perspective, you could rent a two-bedroom apartment in Olympia with the difference in the median monthly income for individuals with an associate's degree, which was $3,752, and those with a bachelor's degree. And you could make monthly car payments in addition to renting an apartment in Olympia with just the difference between the median monthly earnings of someone with a bachelor's degree and someone with just a high school diploma, which was $3,124 per month. Likewise, just as the monthly income increases by degree level, the unemployment rate decreases by degree level. The higher the degree level, the lower the unemployment rate. Or to put it another way, the higher the educational attainment, the more job security someone can expect. Many people choose to go to college because the careers they are interested in pursuing require a college education. Sometimes people know that they want to work in a particular field like medicine or construction, but they're unsure of the different options available within that field. People also occasionally know things that they like to do, like helping people or the environment, but they're unsure of how to make a career out of these interests. College can offer you a chance to study a variety of topics with many different fields, broadening the scope of potential career options available after graduation. Many people are not aware of the various career options available within any field and how college can help make these options available. Imagine walking through a hallway of doors. As you search for a job that you can see yourself turning into a career, each door represents a career option. Some of the doors are already open, offering you a career working minimum wage, physically challenging, degrading, or dangerous jobs. These are the easiest to walk through. The other doors are locked. As you proceed through college or other training programs, you collect keys and more doors become available to you. You could always walk through the ones that are already open, but you have to earn the key to more interesting jobs that are locked behind more rigorous qualifications. Psychologists believe that people have inherent needs that depend on the achievement of other needs. The top of the pyramid you see here cannot be reached without having reached the bottom layers first. The bottom layers are provided through health, home, family, and friends, which could arguably be provided by college as well. But the top of the pyramid, esteem and self-actualization, require effort and support to achieve. College, by providing individuals with the opportunity to make friends, explore interests, nurture passions, and develop new skills, can help people reach a point where they find a purpose in life. Going to college will give you access to campus jobs reserved for students. These positions are more interesting and can sometimes help provide experience toward your chosen career field. For instance, someone interested in computer sciences might benefit from working in the campus computer center, or someone interested in music might work at the campus radio station. The options are only limited by the opportunities and resources available on each campus. College not only gives you the opportunity to network with people who could one day help you get a good job, but it also can enable you to develop meaningful personal relationships. Because the environment is full of interesting people with whom you'll interact through classes, coffee lines, or student groups, it is easy to make friends or even fall in love. So at this point, you're probably wondering how you're supposed to pay for all of this. By filling out either the Fafsa or the WASFA, you can obtain financial assistance to pay for part or all of your college education. These are the applications for state and federal financial aid. Students are awarded grants and/or loans if their EFC determines they are qualified. Students would only fill out the WASFA if they are not qualified for the Fafsa. Usually this is on the basis of citizenship or permanent residency status, as you must have a social security number in order to receive federal funds from the Fafsa. Financial aid awards are granted by each institution based on a family's EFC. The lower your EFC, the more money you will be offered in aid. Only 22.7% of students in the Shelton School District completed the Fafsa by April 18th, which likely means only 1 out of every 5 students in Shelton are even considering college after high school. Another way to pay for college would be to take out student loans, especially to pay for whatever is not covered by other forms of financial aid. Although student loans have to be paid back, they're usually worth it for the return you can make on your own investment. Remember what former President Franklin D. Roosevelt said, "We have nothing to fear but fear itself. Nameless, unreasoning, unjustified terror which paralyzes needed efforts to convert retreat into advance." When it comes to student loans, you can't let your fear of debt prevent you from pursuing a college degree that can afford you and your family with ongoing benefits and an overall improvement in your quality of life. You should try to avoid loans, but not at the expense of your education. You will have greater earning potential after graduation, so you also shouldn't try to work and save up for college. It is stressful and it simply isn't practical for the 21st century. If you do find that you have to take out loans to pay for college, remember that subsidized loans will not accrue interest while you're in school, and unsubsidized loans will build interest while you're in school, increasing the total amount you'll pay in the end. There are also some benefits you'll receive from student loans. For instance, they build credit, they offer flexible repayment options, you don't have to pay while in college or for up to 6 months after graduation. They offer forbearance and deferment options, which would allow for delayed repayment. And finally, they offer income-based repayment plans. You could also join the Peace Corps, AmeriCorps, or the US military after college to pay off student loans too. So you may be wondering, what are some ways you can avoid student loans? Scholarships are a great way to avoid student loan debt. Different types of scholarships you could get include merit-based scholarships, which can be earned through good grades, need-based scholarships, which are for students with low EFCs, demographics-based scholarships, like those for women, members of the LGBTQ community, people of color, specific religions, and so on. Leadership and service-based scholarships for those with community service, volunteer, or leadership experience. Major-based scholarships, which are based on specific fields of major or career interests. Local scholarships for students who attend a specific school or live in a specific district or community. These are typically offered by local community organizations like Kiwanis, VFW, Rotary, etc. And finally, institutional scholarships for students planning to attend a specific college or university. To apply, locate scholarships using the school or college website or using websites like washboard.org. You could also browse websites of local businesses and organizations. Prioritize different scholarships to work on based on the deadline and the amount of money offered, then make a list. Some advice: local, institutional, leadership/service-based, and demographics-based scholarships are the easiest to get because they are the least competitive. Because so few people apply for these types of scholarships, they often go unclaimed. So apply for as many as possible to increase the likelihood that you will receive scholarship money and the amount you could potentially receive, reusing materials from other scholarships to make it easier. And don't forget to proofread all scholarship materials before submission. Another piece of advice: write at least one essay that can be modified for all scholarships. Most scholarships ask for responses to very similar prompts. Then you can figure out what documents will be required for submission, like your taxes, tribal registry, Fafsa, WASFA completion, confirmation, etc. Do this ahead of time, and if an account creation will be needed to apply for a scholarship, plan accordingly for that too. Finally, ask for letters of recommendation with plenty of time, if needed, and give your recommenders deadlines that can be broken in case they get busy or forget. Another way to help pay for college expenses would be to get a job. College campuses offer a variety of positions that the average high school graduate would never be able to get, providing you with the opportunity to work in a real lab, a studio, or with expensive cutting-edge technology. Campus jobs often pay higher than minimum wage, and they will work around your class schedule, allow for homework time, and limit hours during busier times in the quarter or semester to encourage success. You also do not have to have a work-study award to get an on-campus job. Work-study just guarantees that part of your earnings will contribute toward your college costs. Some tips for budgeting with your financial aid award. Number 1, always assume the cost of attendance at your school is underestimated and budget more than you think you may need by at least $200. 2. Ask the student accounts office for an itemized receipt or invoice and double check that nothing has been charged to your account that is not required. 3. Save money wherever possible. Find books online. PDFs are usually free. Use the campus library. Take advantage of your student discounts and ride public transit when you can. 4. Apply for roommates and housing. 5. Direct cost of attendance for each quarter or semester must be in your school account by the time classes start, but don't forget to also budget for indirect costs like books, living expenses, etc. 6. Apply for jobs on campus that limit hours to ensure academic success. They also tend to look better on your resume than restaurant or retail jobs. 7. Only accept the amount of loan offers you'll need for the school year. You can accept or reject any part of your loan offers that you may need, and you can later accept more of your loan offer if at first you reject it and learn later that you may need it. 8. Do not plan to work to save up for college. It is easier to pay back loans at a higher wage than it is to save up for college at a lower wage. 9. Don't settle for community college just because it's cheaper before seeing how much money a four-year college or university will offer you. The more expensive the college, the more money the school has to give in financial aid. If you decide to go to a community college, go because you actually want to or because it makes more sense for your educational path. 10. Live at home if you can. This is not the best option for students who clash with family members or who don't have the best at-home study habits. However, dorms can cost between $11,000 and $15,000 per year. Living at home tends to be the best option for WASFA recipients since they do not qualify for loans or federal aid that can help cover the extra cost of on-campus housing. Thanks for watching. This has been Riva Villa, Director for the Upward Bound Shelton program with the Evergreen State College. If you thought this was helpful, don't forget to drop a like or leave a comment, and keep an eye out for the next episode in our series, How to Read Your Financial Aid Award and Understand College Costs. Until next time, take care.